Yeah, my people, welcome back, man. Welcome back to the Morning Sada Show. You don't know I'm here with you again to present you with another match day preview. The Reggae Boys versus Honduras later today. And guess what? No other than EDER, the man that bring him expertise to the show, the Morning Sada Show, the CONCACAF journalist, the man that covered everything that all about Central America. Yeah, he will preview the Reggae Boy game versus Honduras, and also he will look around and what's to come ahead. Look, Trinidad, another team that went to the quarterfinals, is on the verge of getting knocked out of the League A. Can they get the better of Cuba? They understand Suriname is on the surge of making it to the first ever knockout round in the Nations League. Yeah, they will battle Guyana at home and looking over the fence to look what will happen in the game against Costa Rica de los Ticos versus Guatemala. Yeah, they will surely want a very good defeat for the Los Ticos over Guatemala. You understand? The Reggae Boys will also want that too because they will finish atop of everyone in the Nations League, League A. Yes, it's a very good show. Hope you guys enjoyed. Ciao ciao. You see me here again with Eddie talking and previewing the Reggae Boy game. Also with Honduras and also the rest of Central America and the Caribbean teams. Yeah, bless upon yourself. Thanks for watching. Yes, welcome back to the Morning Insider Show with Adair. Adair, how you doing? Welcome back to Nicardo Media House.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here, my friend. Talk about football, Jamaica, the Reggae Boys, of course. CONCACAF.
Yes.
It's always beautiful to talk about.
Yeah,
This wonderful sport.
yeah. But yeah, we're going to chit chat and preview the game tomorrow. Reggae Boys versus LH. But let's go back to the game on Thursday night in Managua. What you think about the Reggae Boys' performance? How you assess their team performance? Big victory, back to back win in Central American side for the Reggae Boys. First time a coach have ever done that.
Look, it's difficult once you go abroad, especially in CONCACAF. It ain't easy to play in Honduras. It ain't easy to play in Nicaragua, regardless of the how Nicaragua has progressed in the past and in the present, now in the
Mhm,
future as well. It's a
mhm,
difficult match. The stadium was packed over there in Managua, in the capital. Let's be honest. Also, the Nicaraguan team played hard. It
yeah,
was a tactical game, I would say, but the as I told you, the outcome thing to have in mind was the ability to have a lot of talent, the fact that many players are in the Premier League, or some of the players that Jamaica
yeah,
has are in the Premier League. That makes a huge difference at the end of the day, and it was shown in the pitch. The way Jamaica played the game. I mean, to be quite honest, it wasn't like a beautiful or like a, I would say, neat, clean, complete abomination, or like a complete game for Jamaica. They didn't play that well, but they were effective. And end of the day, you gotta be effective to win, and that's what
yeah.
Jamaica did.
Yeah, I think. Look, I think it was a well balanced performance. I
Yeah.
think I think they did exactly what they need to do to get the 3 points on the day. Again, you have to put it into factors. You have to put it into context. The AstroTurf, the artificial turf, is not easy
Yep.
to play. We have a lot of players that played in England. In the English Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two. They cannot use those type of synthetic pitch in those leagues. So it's very first time for a lot of those players to play competitive game internationally on that pitch. And the Reggae Boy coach have made four big changes. No Mikel Antonio, no Casey Palmer. When you look on the changes that he have made, he brought in players that played in the USL, that played on artificial turf, that used to it. So you could see that their performance, it was generated. It was like a magnet to their on the field to the pitch. So again, man, very good performances, from the Reggae Boys. But I think the Nicaraguan team, it kind of lack a little bit of intensity. I was looking for a more vibrant. I was looking for a more, aggressive approach, especially from the midfield, Coronel and Masquerade. Baron Bonilla, I think he was poor in majority of the game. I think the best player on the pitch, on Thursday was Barrera, the captain.
I think also in McLaren, the coach, the Jamaican coach, was able to outperform a Fantasma Figueroa.
Hmm.
Tactically speaking, the Nicaraguans were, some of them were. more focused on containing the Jamaican team than to
Yeah.
be able to do 101. So
Yeah.
in that phase, basically in that uh, aspect, in that particular aspect, McLaren and the boys were able to outdone the Nicaraguan
Yeah.
national team. So you're gonna be happy because in the tactical aspect, you guys are, I will say, a step
Yeah.
ahead on the group.
Yeah.
And I will say that will be also a key factor once now you're gonna face Honduras. That will be also a huge factor, and plus
Yeah.
you're at home. Hopefully you don't repeat the same thing as Cuba. Like you know you were able to you suffer and you
Yeah.
left some points. But I think now that you have to, it's basically you guys. You gotta come to do that result. You're more than forced to do the result. I think you guys will be open. Honduras will be open, so that will be a wonderful game.
Yeah, talking about Honduras, 3-2 win away in French Guiana. I heard, the professor spoke about, bad pitch. I heard, Carlos Ernesto, the general secretary for Honduras, was speaking after the game. He was talking about, it was a very muddy pitch. It was a very tough pitch to play. And, and the players have got a lot of battered, they beat up their fatigue, the discomfort in their muscles. Look into that game. They know that, look, I think around 78 hours they have to prepare for the game against the Reggae Boys. Also, how much that plays into factor of being 100% away in Kingston.
I mean, yes, sometimes some pitches are a bit messed up. Some of them are not in 100% they were supposed to be. But again, as long as FIFA said it's good to go,
Mm-hmm.
I honestly believe there is no excuses. You gotta play. They are professionals. That's why they're there and they
Yeah,
get paid
yeah,
those amounts of money, ridiculous amounts of money, because you gotta perform. You gotta perform. And look, it goes both ways. The
yeah,
national team from the place that is playing the local team also suffers from that, as well
yeah,
as the visiting team. So for me, honestly, there is no excuses. Not for Honduras, not for Mexico, not for Jamaica. You know, you can do also you can say the same thing. Like for example, in Bolivia, they play in such huge altitude, but again at the same time, you don't see Messi complain. You don't see Neymar complain
yeah,
because you don't see James Rodriguez complain because they know it's the way it's supposed to be because they're professionals and you gotta be the best. You will have to be able to adapt to those situations, especially now in Concacaf. So for me, honestly, I don't. If, again, Mexico has played in Jamaica, and all the people from Mexico national team they say when we go to Jamaica, it smells like like that beautiful weed,
yeah,
smells like that beautiful plant, and it's like,
yeah,
well, but that's the way we're supposed to play, and they don't complain. It's like, okay, if we lose, and it's like, so again, it goes both ways.
yeah. I don't know if you heard about it, but they about to put in a complaint, to Carlos Fernandez, the chairman. You said the chairman for the Nations League, for one of the organizer for that working for CONCACAF. So yeah, they're going to put in a file. They're talking about they lost money, all of that stuff. But I mean, when you look at it, man, currently this Honduras team, the professor Ronaldo, he'd have to be dealing with, Edwin Rodriguez, Pinto Rivas, who will be playing in attacking third, with Choco Lozano, Benguche, will he start? Will he play 4-4-2? Will he play, I don't remember his name, the number 10 for Honduras, I think his name is Alexander. Alexander, but what you
Alex
think
Lopez,
of
no,
Alex Lopez? Yeah, Alex Lopez, but
really good player.
yeah, beautiful player, but what you think about, of the Gaffer, of changing the starting lineup because obviously they need changes, they need to improve on that performance that they made against French Guiana compared to what they have to put in to get a positive result to at least get in the final eight of the competition.
I honestly, I'm gonna be the most honest to you. N- Honduras hasn't played any good since Ronaldo already took over. I think the best game that I saw already was versus Mexico and then
The two
Trinidad and Tobago.
the 2-0?
Those were the most, I will say, complete games in all aspects. But other than that, And also, I saw the game versus Ecuador that the friendly that they got here
Yeah,
in
that's fine.
Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
But they were just local players. What that means that I guess the biggest problem in Honduras is the mentality.
Yeah.
And I think probably like you got Rigo Rivas, you got Kervin Arriaga, you have Edwin Rodriguez, you have Joseph Rosales, you
Yeah.
got Choco Lozano, you got Bicho Palma, you got, I will say, if you look really closely at the squad, and if they probably were able to complete all the results, and they got, I would say, a strong manager, they could be easily be the best in Central America.
Mm-hmm.
Like man to man, if you analyze it, they have the best squad in probably in Central America. But they don't perform in the pitch. Something is happening there, and trust me, it's not the coach. It's not the coach because they have had five coaches like in 5 years. So it's like, no, it's not
Yeah.
the coach. The federation might be some issues. It will be one of the most responsible actors in this mess, I will say. But I think it comes down to the players. The players, I don't see that drive. I don't see that hunger. Only when they play versus Mexico. Like if all the teams that they play, they have like the green shirt, they will always be playing like the best 100%. It's ridiculous. I don't get it. When they play with Mexico, they wanna defeat them. They wanna destroy them. Like that's when like their pride is being touched. But
Yeah.
other than that, they just play very very awful football. Awful.
Yeah.
Like they don't wanna be there. Like you can see in their bodies, like what the hell I'm doing here? I don't wanna be here,
Yeah.
and it's sad.
Yeah.
Most of the Honduran nation, the fans, they don't deserve this national team,
Yeah.
honestly. And I don't know what to say. Honestly, it's a very bipolar team.
Yeah.
Once you can see versus Trinidad and Tobago like the best. No, they're back. The boys are back. But then they play versus you guys, and it's just a team that is like, is that Honduras or Belize or Belize? Is that what? Is that San Martin or is that Honduras? Unrecognizable. Like you cannot even know if that's the national team or a team from Belize. I don't get it, man. I mean, really honest. I don't know what to expect from Honduras.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I do.
Uh,
They're that very bipolar. Like one, like very irregular. Like it's not something that's to be a pace. Like, oh no, they're steady. That's difficult to really oversee and to watch and give you a complete, more defined vision.
yeah. Ronaldo Rura have been known for that man in Colombia for not prepare them for that World Cup that they missed out on, and he's on the verge if he get defeat, later today against Jamaica. Will his job on the line if he lost against Jamaica and Nicaragua beat French Guiana?
Um, I quite didn't quite get it. Like, what do you mean?
So I'm saying, Ronaldo Rueda have been known for the man in Colombia that, did not prepare them for that World Cup that they missed out on. If
Okay.
he lose later, yeah, against Jamaica, will his job be on the line if Nicaragua beat French Guiana?
Look, if Honduras loses and they fire Orweda, nothing's gonna change. And if Rueda stays, nothing's gonna change. I think that team, as I told you, is very bipolar. It's
Mhm.
not the coach. Trust me, it's not the coach. He didn't call Bicho Palma, and I think some of the players, their ego is the biggest problem from them. So Rueda, for example, was the last coach, the most successful coach in El Atlético Nacional, in
Yeah,
Flamengo. He was in Chile. He was in Colombia. But again, I think he's a very good coach, one of the best coaches in the whole continent. It doesn't come down to Rueda. Well, somebody has to be accountable, held accountable. But I don't think it's Rueda the issue. If he's gone, trust me, man. Whatever coach arrives, nothing's gonna change. I think on the contrary, you're cutting the progress. You're cutting the project. A continuation, um, a process, and that's the most idiotic thing I think most of the teams in Central America, the national teams do. For example, look at Panama. They basically fail many times, but they were always trusting the process. And now look where are they now.
yeah,
Also you
yeah,
guys, Jamaica, you have a lot of issues, but you maintain a certain number of players that are like they want to be in the national team. So they have that compromise.
Yes.
Like they come together. You can see them. You can see
Yeah.
them. They're tight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like that union is what gets you, regardless of my ego. But no, in Central America, unfortunately, it is not like that. And like the executives or the ones that are in charge of the national teams, they want to say they don't want to lose their job. So what is the easy thing to do? To fire the coach.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
an approach. And I think McLaren knows. I think that's one of the best coaches now in CONCACAF. Steve McLaren, the guys you have, it's been proven. It's not easy to go to Central America and get the points, even if it's Nicaragua. You
Yes.
can go to Guatemala. Can go to Costa Rica, Honduras, Panama. It's tough, bro. Not even Mexico, or USA go with 3 points when they go to Central America. So it's difficult, man. You gotta
Yeah.
be aware that that's difficult to do.
Yeah. How would you call the game? Who you think will be the top four teams that get out of the Nations League and go to the quarterfinals with US, Canada, Mexico, and Panama,
I think it's gonna be Jamaica and Nicaragua. I
Nicaragua.
think you guys
Um,
are gonna be 2-0, I will say, and then Nicaragua wins like 5-0 versus French Guyana, or okay, 3-0 again. So I think it's gonna be Jamaica and Nicaragua.
and Panama, Guatemala, and Costa Rica.
That's a good observation. I would say they're gonna tie it.
Yeah.
So Guatemala goes, and then I think it's Suriname, or I think Guadeloupe, or yeah, I think Guadeloupe. No, Guadeloupe,
Um, s- Guatemala is 7 points, Los Ticos 5 points, Suriname 4, Martinique 4,
Martinique.
Guadeloupe 3.
Okay, so it's up to I think it's gonna be Suriname or yeah, Suriname. They gotta make the four goal.
Suriname play home to Guyana.
There you go. So it's like it probably is gonna be. You know what? I think it's gonna be Costa Rica and Guatemala.
Hmm.
Probably. I mean, it's tough because Suriname has to be like it has to. They have to do more goals to go up. But
If
no, I think it's gonna.
if the game tie, Suriname is already 3 goals behind Guatemala. If they have to depend on Costa Rica to beat Guatemala, which Costa Rica haven't beat Guatemala in the last 3 games.
I tied. So basically, it's gonna be Costa Rica and Guatemala. It's a
Yeah.
tied. I would say 1-1.
Yeah, it I think it was a draw game back in Guatemala as well. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah. But mind sharp, you look, Suriname is very, very good at home. Yeah, they came back to
Yeah.
draw that game against Los Ticos to give themselves a chance in the final day to make it to the quarterfinals. Last campaign we saw Trinidad get in behind Panama in the run of eight. That
Mm-hmm.
was a tough zone. Martinique was in that zone. I think El Salvador was in that zone. Panama was in that zone, and Trinidad managed to finish behind Panama in second. So let's see if there will be another Caribbean team behind Jamaica in the quarterfinals. But matchups, if the Reggae Boys manage to pull it off tomorrow, and as you said, the Los Ticos and Guatemala might end up to a tie, Jamaica will finish above all the teams in the two groups, and that will play quarterfinals back again, the revenge, the Canadian team versus the Reggae Boys. You think that will be a very impressive matchup for the quarterfinals in November.
You guys wanna play Canada?
Yeah, because if you said the Los Ticos will tie, the
Mm-hmm.
Reggae Boys will win, so that will leave us ahead of everyone above the
It's not.
two
It's not
groups.
Panama. No.
Panama, I don't remember.
No. You
Is it?
guys gonna play Panama? No.
No, the best ranked team in Group One and Group Two with Guatemala and the Reggae Boys, they will play the fourth best team in CONCACAF, and then the
So the
second,
fourth is Panama.
the fourth best is Panama.
Yeah.
Okay, so probably the Reggae Boys will go away to Panama City. Let's see if there will be a revenge with the Canada national team and the Reggae Boys. Um, but
I would love to see Canada versus Jamaica, but I think it's gonna be Panama.
yeah. Yeah, think so. I think so. But yeah, let's see what's going to happen. Later is the final day, is the decision day. We will find out what will be the quarterfinals for next month. This is what I want to go into. I want to talk about the rest of Central America. We just talk about the Guatemalan team. Is tapping that zone ahead of the Los Ticos.
Hmm.
But Costa Rica. I was looking at the head-to-head between Costa Rica and Guatemala. I did not realize that Guatemala have unbeaten in the last three games against those Ticos.
Because the style that I think Guyana, like it or not, it's I would say it's an okay team. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. And Guatemala need to play away. So look, I think the biggest factor, one of the things I would say, has been more you can see it like I think it's Luis Fernando Tena. It comes down to the coach. I think that's the best part of Guatemala.
Yeah, yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think he made a big difference with Guatemalan team, and I think behind Panama for Panama have been played, I think they have one of the best improvement team. Alongside
What do you think about it? Think about it. Guatemala cannot even create a best 11. They have many issues, many problems.
mhm,
They sometimes they don't even are able to to do a call up of 25 players that have top level.
yeah,
There is always somebody that is left alone because Guatemala has a lot of issues.
yeah,
And the best players are not called up
yeah,
because they have an issue with the coach, with the federation. Some of them they don't want to go to play to Guatemala. So the team is very limited. And for Luis
yeah,
Fernando Tena to being able to pull those results, because remember, Guatemala was in League B 1 year ago. Now they're gonna go to the Final Four.
yeah,
They were in League C in 2022.
yeah,
So the way they've been playing, the way they've been performing, the Gold Cup, they play against you guys. You know,
yeah.
they're gonna play you in the World
In
qualifiers,
the
or
World
the
Cup
World Cup
qualifiers, it
qualifiers.
be a
So
tough
so
game, tough game.
sometimes you say, "Oh no, Guatemala is nothing. Guatemala is this." But I guess the biggest thing that they have, the best thing they have, is a coach.
Yeah,
And I just said it, like they've been playing Costa Rica, and it's tight. So I guess that's the factor. I think
yeah,
the thing that has in their favor is the tactical way that Tena puts the team. And honestly, if they somehow they pull up, if they defeat Costa Rica, watch out, man. You gotta watch out. If they're able to defeat Costa Rica in Costa Rica, I mean, now we gotta take in consideration Guatemala.
yeah,
I will not say that it can defeat Jamaica
yeah,
or it can defeat Panama, but look, you have to have them in the conversation to be in one of the spots of the World Cup, you know,
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's difficult to play in Costa Rica
yeah,
and it's difficult to play in the islands. So if you look at the positive way, there have been some games that have been playing in the Caribbean, away in North America. That team is also growing. I like Suriname too. I think that the Costa Rica have some growing pains, but again, the Costa Rica is in a good pace to go to the World Cup as well.
yeah,
But Suriname, I'm surprised by that team. As I think I told you, remember, told me give me a sleeping giant. I told you Suriname, and look at them. Those dudes are. We have to also have in consideration. Like those dudes might be one of a sleeping giant as well.
yeah. The game against Guatemala, it would be catastrophe for Luis Fernandez Suarez not to get Costa Rica into the final eight. You know, I think with these Central American teams, if you don't qualify for a major knockout tournament, you're already on the line for getting that. You're losing your job.
Pues
So
Claudio
I'm just
Vivas. Claudio Vivas is the guy from Costa Rica. Claudio
oh,
Vivas
got it.
and Luis Fernando Tenes from Guatemala.
Okay. So yeah, it will be sad to see if he loses job tomorrow. If Guatemala get the best results and then Suriname beat Guyana at home. So, we have to look at it all around. But I mean, look at El Salvador, they're on the verge of getting back to League A. I think David Zuniga, he's formerly of Thomas Christian's assistant coach at Panama, right?
Yeah, but I think right now the League B, the group of El Salvador, is not sealed. It's
No,
open.
yeah, it's open. It's open.
So San Vincent can go the first place if they win their next two games.
But
So right now El
St.
Salvador is
Vincent,
in.
St. Vincent, I've played it the El Salvador twice now, so it's only a
No,
few
no, yeah,
easy.
but there are two more games left in that
Yeah,
group.
yeah, three.
So there are two more games. So if El Salvador loses one and
Mhm.
San Vincent wins two, or
Yeah,
ties one El Salvador and San Vincent wins, so San Vincent goes to the Liga A,
Yeah,
and El Salvador remains in League B.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that's all, I have covered. But I mean, look, what is probably the biggest upset you probably will call on the rest of the games coming up in later
I think it's El
Monday?
Salvador. I think it's El Salvador
Yeah,
because um the way they just been performing it's absolutely disgusting. I will say because they have the problem is not the players. They have the
yeah,
talent. They
yeah,
have what it takes to be because last year, less 1 year ago, man, they were playing the US in Orlando 1-1 to go to the final four.
yeah,
Last year they were tying with Korea in Seoul, man.
yeah,
Korea, man. And look at it now. They cannot defeat Puerto Rico. They cannot defeat San Vicente Fernandez. So it's like, what's going on here? Honduras, Honduras since Russia 2018, they mean like this, you know. So
yeah,
so you expect it, but El Salvador, I think honestly, I don't see them going nowhere. I
yeah.
think they can be the best thing that happened to them is they get an intervention like Guatemala, that the football is suspended for 2 or 5 years
Yeah,
because it's just sad, man. They got nothing there, man.
yeah. Looking at League A in Group Two, Trinidad is on the verge of going out. A team that finished in the quarterfinals. Beaten by the US. How you saw this Trinidad team play the first game? In Honduras. You think it's a team that can challenge in League A?
No, yeah, on Trinidad, it's always a team that gives everybody a run for their money. They
Yeah,
always are very very difficult team for Mexico, for Guatemala, for the US. They defeated the US, so that I don't want to face. For example, I'm Mexican. I don't want to face Trinidad because I know that team is tough to play against with. I mean, you're also from Jamaica. You know that those dudes.
yeah,
Uh, they're very also. You never know. You might get
yeah,
the best version of them, or you can get the worst version of them.
yeah, yeah,
Honestly, that team will be you gotta watch because if you follow the World Cup qualifiers from CONCACAF, there is always a team from the Caribbean or
yeah,
from the islands
yeah,
that always eliminates one team from Central America, North America.
yeah,
Trinidad and Tobago they might not be performing, but you remember like they were playing the final four and to go to the Copa America, and they were strong.
yeah.
They
Very
were a
strong, very
team
strong.
to watch out. So I mean, they're like up and downs, but I would not leave that team away. Like I always have a special respect for Trinidad because they know that they can able to perform good games.
Yeah, I think even that game, I think they played at the Q2 Stadium against the
Hmm.
US. It went all the way down to the wire. They're playing with 10
Yeah,
men on pitch.
exactly.
So
Hmm.
in Trinidad zone, French Guiana is in last on 1 point. Trinidad is in fifth on 2 points. Cuba is on 3 points. So Trinidad and Cuba will face off in Port of Spain in Trinidad. So the winner for that game will be safe and survive another campaign in League A. So we're looking at it, we're tipping Trinidad to beat Cuba in Trinidad. A very good team. And I heard that, formerly of a Manchester United legend, Dwight York is
York.
about to
Mhm.
take up, the Trinidad job as well. You think that would be a impressive appointment, with taking over from Mr. King?
Of course, man, they got experience. One of the best players in CONCACAF in the whole history. In the whole history, I'm not saying it's a very historical player, a historical figure from CONCACAF. Yeah, as I told you, I always have huge respect for them because they can perform in the highest level,
Yeah,
and we gotta watch out with them against. I think they will remain in the League A. They
yeah,
gotta be a catastrophe in order for them to go to League B. But again, they go to League B, they will go back again to League A.
yeah,
They're a League A team from CONCACAF, Trinidad, and
yeah,
hopefully, I mean, if York goes, watch
yeah.
out, everybody, because that team no for real. I'm
Yeah,
just I know them. In Mexico, I had respect for these teams. I got respect for Jamaica. I got respect for
yeah,
Honduras for what because it's not easy, man. Like if you watch the interviews for everybody, like some fans might go and say, "Ah, no, come on, Guatemala, what's Honduras, what's the Trinidad? Ah, fuck that, no, bro." As a Mexican, I watch the interviews from Cuauhtémoc Blanco, El Emperador Suarez, Matador Hernandez, Pavel Pardo, Marquez, and they say like, "Oh no, to go to the Caribbean, to go to Haiti, to go to to Guatemala, to Honduras. It's tough, and those dudes
Yeah.
are tough to defeat. So, and they have spoke really good about good regards on Trinidad. So that team will be strong, definitely strong, because he got experience. Manchester United playing in the biggest clubs in Europe. So if you put that input into these players, of course they're gonna be motivated. And again, the way it's like a close to an English based football is box to box like you guys are playing,
Yeah.
very intensity, high pitch, pressure. uh, you press the ball once they have it, very vertical. So that's if you put that system into, for example, Central American teams, North America, it's gonna be a beautiful beautiful thing to see in CONCACAF.
Yeah. That's it for the morning Sada show. Thanks my friend EDER. Thanks for your expertise, in the CONCACAF region. Really appreciate it. Show, your last say before we close out.
I want to say that thank you for the invitation again. I really enjoy being here in your space, and hopefully more people subscribe to our
Yeah.
channel, give you a like, a comment, and I wish
Yeah.
only but the best to you guys for Jamaica, because there have been a lot of issues, but I honestly I've been watching your team also, your national team, and it's rock and roll and football, or reggae and football, and I like it.
Yeah, yeah, I really appreciate it, man. Ciao, ciao, brother. Salute.